ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति दुष्कृन्करणे मूढजहि धनागमतृष्णां कुरु सद्बुद्धिं मनसि वितृष्णां यल्लभसे निजकर्मोपात्तं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते नारीस्तनभरनाभिदेशं दृष्ट्वा मागामोहावेशम् एतन्मां सवसादिविकारं मनसि विचिन्तय वारं वारं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते नलिनीदलगतजलमतितरलं तद्वज्जीवितमतिशयचपलं विद्धि व्याध्यभिमानग्रस्तं लोकं शोकहतं च समस्तं भज गोविन्दं यावद्वित्तोपार्जनसक्तः तावन्निजपरिवारो रक्तः पश्चाज्जीवति जर्जरदेहे वार्तां कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे भज गोविन्दं यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्यति तस्मिन् काये भज गोविन्दं बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्र संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्रः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रात भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्त्वं भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते वयसि गते कः कामविकार शुष्के नीरे कः कासार क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवार ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसार भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते मा कुरु धनजनयौवनगर्वं हरति निमेषात् कालः सर्वं मायामयमिदमखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा भज गोविन्दं भज मूढमते So the previous session we saw about concepts in Vedanta of Brahman, the absolute truth, using the power of Maya becomes the Ishvara and then creates the world. So that power of Maya we were trying to understand is the power dependent on Brahman, is not an independent power, and it functions in two ways. One is it veils the truth, another is it projects something else. So Avarana and Vikshepa. And this Maya, the nature of Maya is three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. In that the Rajas and Tamas bind, because Tamas veils the truth, Rajas projects something else, but Sattva is that which helps us to liberate ourselves. Hence a seeker must live as much as possible in Sattva Guna. Now, in Vedanta there are three levels of reality. And if we understand these three levels of reality, it becomes easy for us, and that clarity is important, because many times we mix up the levels for no reason and then get confused. So the first level of reality is called as transactional reality. So transactional reality means, in Vedanta we call it as Vyavaharika Satta. This, what we are experiencing, is called as transactional reality. There is a transaction, or there is a specific functional experience that is happening. I am teaching, you are listening. So walking, talking, eating, all this which we do, meeting people, doing our work, there is a transactional reality. Vyavahara it is called. But what we do is this Vyavahar and this level of reality is considered to be by us as the absolute truth. That there is nothing else other than this. That this alone is, because I see it. Vedanta says no, that is not true. There are other two levels of reality also. So first level is transactional reality, which is this, to which we should not give undue importance. It has its own place. Money has its own place, people have their own place, pleasure has its own place, work has its own place. All this has its own place in our life. And let it be given its right place. Any of these becomes more important than the others, the balance of life is gone. And more than that, we consider that this reality alone is real. That beyond this there is nothing else. That notion is wrong. Because this reality, transactional reality, is experienced by us only in the waking state. This level of reality is not experienced by us in the dream state and in the deep sleep state. So as long as it is there, it is real. So it has a certain relevance. But there is something else which is behind this. So the Vedantic masters, they say that there is an absolute reality which is what we call as Brahman. Absolute meaning that which does not change. That absolute reality is Brahman, or we also call it as Paramarthik Satta. Why this is called absolute reality? Because this will never get negated. Waking state will get negated when dream comes. Waking state is gone. When deep sleep comes, dream also is gone. Again when dream comes, deep sleep is gone. Then again from waking, then the dream is gone. So each state negates the other two. But when I understand that each of these states negates the other two, but there is one reality which is the basis of all these three, that is this absolute reality. And when a person wakes up to this absolute reality, all the three, waking, dream, deep sleep, they are gone. So it is like the truth which is there at all times. The waking, dream, deep sleep, they come and they go. Like the silence which is there at all times. Sound comes, sound goes. Even when there is a lot of noise, silence is still there. But our attention is not on that because we are carried away by the sounds. Same way. Right now, waking, dream, deep sleep is what is occupying our mind. So that which is the basis of these three, that I don't know. Because the mind is not turned towards that. Mind is turned outside. Now, from this entity, while it is appearing so real to me, I understand that it is actually not real, it is an illusion. That understanding is called relative reality. When I see the mirage, then when I see the mirage as mirage, I know that it's an illusion, there is no water there. That is called relative reality. The same water was earlier considered as a transactional reality, that this is real, there is water, so I am running towards it. So it is the same transactional reality, but my attitude towards that is changed. That actually this is only relative. It's an illusion, it is only an appearance. Now what is the importance? When we say this, Maya Mayamedam Akhilam Buddhva, that is this relative reality. That understand this entire realm to be relative. It is constantly changing. One is it is constantly changing. Two, it definitely gets negated. Because it is changing, every moment it gets negated. And so, when I understand this very clearly, that this is only an appearance. The importance of knowing something as an illusion or an appearance is what? Think. Why do I need to know that this world is an illusion before I realize the absolute truth?
The conviction becomes strong.
What conviction?
Identification with the body. Identification with the body reduces.
To go towards the truth, identification reduces, desires drop off.
The goal becomes clearer.
Undue importance is not given to it.
But I am the part of this world now. Right now I am the part of this world. That's why I have to understand that this is a relative reality.
The direction is given.
Direction is given.
Rise above duality.
That is there, to rise, but what is the step? Why is it that I should consider this as an illusion to rise above duality?
If we don't realize that this is an illusion, we will always be attached to this. It will not be possible to go towards the beyond the...
Correct. So the in-between step is for this, that as long as I see this as real, I think it has the capacity to make me happy and satisfy me. So as long as somebody sees that mirage as water, one thinks that this has the capacity to quench my thirst. So as long as I see the world as real, I will think that it has the capacity to make me happy, so I will run behind it. So I am going to be attached. But the moment I see it as an illusion, we are not attached to illusions, right? A seasoned traveler in the desert is not going to be attached to that illusion, that mirage is there, and knowing it's a mirage, still run behind it. That knowledge makes a big difference in the whole response towards the world. Lot of people tell us Vedanta is very theoretical, tell us something practical to do. There is nothing more practical than this. The moment I understand this is an illusion, my entire running behind it stops. The world does not have any more power to make me happy, make me angry, make me sad, make me miserable. It loses its power. And who gave the power to that world? Maya only. By giving it a reality which it is not, then running behind it, getting attached. Now I only have given that power. Hence, this knowledge of Vedanta, that this is an illusion. And the beauty of illusion is that illusion will not disappear. But the knowledge that this is an illusion will make all the difference. Like even when I know that the dream is an illusion, the dream is not going to disappear, right? But I know it is a dream. There was a silly, this Mullah Nasruddin stories sometimes appear very silly. But Gurudev used to love this Mullah Nasruddin. And he used to write in some of his books, like there's a book called Scraps and Bits, which is his like personal notes and diary. So he writes in that some anecdote of Mullah Nasruddin. So this Mullah Nasruddin one day was, he was sleeping and it is bright morning and his wife is trying to wake him up. Wake up Mullah, wake up! Mullah is sleeping, not waking up. Again after some time he comes, hey, wake up! Mullah, wake up! Jaldi! Then this lady brings a bucket of water and splash it on that Mullah. Hey, the Mullah wakes up. Why did you splash water on me? Arey, it is already late in the morning, 9 o'clock already, you have to go for work, get up and you are not waking up. Said, what a fool you are, you couldn't wait for 5 more minutes. I had finished counting 50,000 gold coins and it was just getting deposited in the bank. And you woke me up. You should have just waited for 5 more minutes. We just think about it. We may laugh on that anecdote of Mullah, but are we not doing that? That which is an illusion, in that I am trying to find a reality and I am thinking that this will give me happiness and then running behind this. Maya mayamidam akhilam buddha. If I know this very clearly that this is an illusion, my running behind it stops. Nothing else. So 2 things happen when I know something as an illusion. 1, I will not chase it for happiness. 2, the moment I am convinced that this is an illusion, I will want to know then what is the truth. If this is an illusion, then what is the truth? Even if people don't believe what Vedanta says that this is an illusion, definitely it will make them think at least. If they are saying this is an illusion, then what is real? That much they will start thinking. So if I know that the water, the mirage is not real, then what is there? I want to know. There it is clear that it has to be sand. But in the dream that is not clear. In the rope and snake example that is not clear. That what is there? Somebody can see it as a snake, somebody can see it as a garland, somebody can see it as a crack in the earth, somebody sees it as a stick. Different people are seeing it in a different way, but one doesn't know what is there actually. So one will start seeing that if that is an illusion, then what is that which is there? Because an illusion must have a support. Illusion does not come from nothing. So what is the support? What is the substratum? What is the reality? Hence we must know Maya mayamedam akhilam buddha. If you read quantum physics, today this is what they will say. That this entire realm is constantly changing and it is not what it appears to be. It is not at all solid. It is all empty and hollow, and our senses make it appear like that. And if you see this, we'll watch it next week or sometime. We have to see this movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? It's like a documentary, but made by the Western people. What the bleep, B-L-E-E-P. They coined the word called bleep, meaning what the hell do we know? We don't know anything. And these are all big scientists, quantum physics scientists they are. Bleep, B-L-E-E-P. There they tell us about all this. That one of the scientists is an Indian scientist, Amit Goswami. So he says that the most difficult thing to do is that while I am relating with it, I have to constantly falsify it, saying this is an illusion, this is an illusion, this is an illusion, this is an illusion. Which is what Vedanta is telling us. Maya mayamidam akhilam buddhva. So let me play my role, my duty, what I have. Let me do all that appropriately, but don't think that alone is real, because that is only an illusion, that is a means. And at this point in time, I am playing that duty, I should play it properly, I am playing that role. And as I keep playing that role properly, mind becomes quieter and purified. I will be able to see the world as a relative reality. And as I live in that, what happens? The mind becomes equanimous. Such an equanimous mind will realize the absolute reality. So that's why he says, Maya mayamidam akhilam buddhva brahma padam tvam pravisha. Till I don't see the world as an illusion, I cannot realize the truth. That is not possible. Hence, the order of the reality will be like this: absolute reality, relative reality, and transactional reality. Right now we are at this level, transactional. We cannot jump from transactional to absolute, which is what many people try to do. And then they say, no, Vedanta is not practical. How can I be that Sachidananda? How can there be one changeless truth? How all this is Brahman? Before I see all this as Brahman, I have to see all this as Brahm. Brahm means delusion or illusion. In the north, if you go, they cannot say Brahmachari, they'll say Brahmachari ji. So whole meaning is only different. One who revels in delusion is a Brahmachari. And one who revels in Brahman is Brahmachari. But north they don't bother, because their Hindi pronunciation is like Brahmachari ji aa gaye, Brahmachari ji ka satkar karo, Brahmachari ji ko piksha do, Brahmachari, are kya Brahmachari? Brahmachari. And in east if you go, they cannot say va, they will say ba. So they cannot say Vedant, they'll say Vedant. Vedant. So one who doesn't have dant. Vedant. They can't say. You ask them to say Vivekananda, they won't say. Vivekananda. Ba bana denge usko. Va ka ba. Yeah. So the idea is that before I see the world as Brahman, I have to see it as an illusion first. Lot of security comes the moment I see it as an illusion. But please remember, that does not absolve me from my duty. Don't say, Swamiji, satsang mein kyun aaye, wo bhi illusion hi hai. Why should I go to work? That is also illusion only. Then the loss of pay also will be an illusion only. If tiger comes in front of you, please run. Okay? Don't say that tiger is an illusion. This body is also an illusion. Your running also is an illusion. One should run. Guru gave the advice, that Guru also is an illusion, but the advice also is an illusion. In the realm of illusion, it all functions appropriately. So as long as the dream is there, it appears very real, but while being in the dream, I have to know it as a illusion. Then I wake up, because I am not attached to the dream. So the best way to be detached is to know that this is an illusion. Best way. There is no other way to get detached. Deeply. There are only two ways to detachment. One is either hold on to something higher and be detached from the lower, which is what majority can do. There are few people who can walk the path without holding on to anything higher, with the clarity that this is an illusion. Because I know that this is an illusion, I don't have to hold on to anything else. I will be detached from this, because it's an illusion. Yet keep doing. That's why that scientist said that it's very difficult to do. Because as I'm doing it, I should know this is an illusion. My eating also is an illusion. The jalebi made from ghee is illusion only. While eating, I have to know it. But if I eat it as jalebi, without this thought in the mind, then I will consider that as real. Then next Sunday also I will expect, maybe today also somebody's Paduka Puja is there. Jalebi milega.
So enjoy it while you can or no?
You enjoy it, but know that enjoyment also to be an illusion, the object also to be an illusion, the experiencer also to be illusion. All the three. You see, the problem with us is we try to hold on to one only as an illusion. That's why we are not successful. We think that object is an illusion, but the experiencer also is an illusion. Please remember that. In its completeness we have to see it. Then the experience between the experiencer and the experienced also is an illusion. I don't know how many of you attended the morning talks of Nirvan Shatkam, but that one line which comes in that, Aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta, that I am not the food, I am not the eater, and I am not the eating. All the three are an illusion. So don't take it only one part. What we try to do is not even in one part. In the part of a part we are trying to make it an illusion. How? I am supposed to falsify all the three. The world also is illusion, experience illusion, experiencer also illusion. But what I am trying to do is, in the world, this is world itself is a part of the three. In that world, few objects I want to consider as illusion, others I want to consider as real. वो कैसे चलेगा? One can't say that, Swamiji, my son, my son has to be real. That enemy is unreal. How it will happen? The whole thing is unreal. Entire realm is an illusion. That's why it says Maya Mayamidam Akhilam. This whole thing is Maya Maya. Don't consider it in parts. Those who do that, that's why that misunderstanding happens of Vedanta. Suddenly they will say, Are isme kya hai? Why should I be ambitious? Oh, anyway, ये सब माया है, मिथ्या है. Very good. उस समय माया है, मिथ्या है. Then when something happens, which is tragic, उस समय माया और मिथ्या नहीं है. So because that's only part, I am applying it in parts. That's why I say Akhilam, Maya Mayam Idam, Akhilam. Idam Akhilam Maya Mayam. This whole thing is an illusion. Do you want to go one more level deeper?
Yes.
The beauty is, right now, this whole thing is real for me, okay? Second level will be, the whole thing is Maya. Third level will be, this whole thing is Brahman. That is the shift that this second level will do to us. If I hold on to that, this is an illusion, my inquiry will be, what is Brahman? When I realize Brahman, then not Maya Mayamidam Akhilam Buddhva. This entire thing will become Brahmamayam, Sarvam Brahmamayam. This whole thing is appearance of that one absolute truth, and I realize that absolute truth. So that's why this step is intermediary step. To consider this whole thing as an illusion is not the goal of life. This is the step. It will lead me to realize that all this is an expression of only one absolute infinite truth, and that is me, including this individuality, this body. That person is called liberated, achieved the goal of life. So at any point in time, I can operate at one level. Please remember, I can operate at one level. Though all the three levels are operating at the same time. Even right now, while I am considering this as an illusion, that's as real, it is still an illusion and it is still an appearance of Brahman only. But my level right now is I am giving this reality. So I should lift myself to illusion and consistently practice that. This practice you can try till our next class next week. 1 week you try this practice. As many times as possible, remind this whole thing is an illusion. And see the response that your mind gives. It will not create disinterest, but it will give you space to respond objectively. Because I know this is an illusion. Somebody shouts at me. If I think that this is real, what will I do? Give back, attack. But if I tell myself this is an illusion, I have taken a step back, then I can respond. Even if I want to give it back, I give it back knowing that this is giving back also is an illusion. In control, I will give back. Or I want to ignore it, I will ignore it. Whatever I want, I can still do appropriately. But knowing that what came was also an illusion and what is being given back also is a illusion. Yes.
Swamiji, we can say that this whole creation, including everything, is Brahman's or Ishvara's dream only. Because in that dream, we are doing everything. We are dreaming also.
One can say that, not a problem. But the problem there is only this, that the moment I think like that, I feel that ईश्वर का ड्रीम है और मैं यहाँ पे भुगत रहा हूँ. So it is creating that duality.
Because when I get out of this dream, I just wake up to a level of waker, I become that
Correct.
Ultimate reality.
Correct. But I have to understand that Ishvara also is me only.
Yeah, but
As long as that clarity is there, that Ishvara also is me. Me means not this individuality. I am only that Ishvara who is dreaming this whole world, and I am only that Brahman who is beyond Ishvara. That understanding, if it is very clear, then no problem.
so in dream world, I am a dreamer. I am this dream world.
Yeah.
Every object in this
Is the dream.
me only.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as that vision of oneness is there, there is no problem. But that's where our confusion starts, no? There is separate Ishvara who is there and he is dreaming, and then why I am going through all this? Because I have created the division now. So if I can have that vision of oneness, then this attitude is fine. Otherwise, with the attitude that I am a Jiva and there is an Ishvara who created this world, what is the best way I can respond to this world? Know that this is an illusion. Bas. Ultimately it will bring me to absolute truth only, but without confusion. And I will relate steadily at one level. So from transactional to relative, from relative to absolute. That is a slow movement, but very, very effective this will be. All our puja, japa, sadhana, tapa, upvas, vrata, dan, all these are meant to make the mind pure so that I can live this knowledge that this is an illusion. That's meant to make the mind pure. In the path of devotion, Bhagavan gives that knowledge. In the path of Vedanta, we say we have to live that knowledge with our effort. In both the places, grace of the Lord is always there.
Sometimes it happens like if we consider directly as a Brahman, And then in reality, in the world, the things doesn't happen the way, like maybe it's some frustrating or agitation comes. Then, that thought goes away. But when you see it as a illusion, then it can be little bit, it gives you balance.
It's good on paper, Swamiji, but actually practically doing it and remembering it.
That's a practice.
Is it possible? I mean, do people live like that?
Yeah, definitely. Live like that. Yeah. Are we not living like that with this understanding that this is real, though this is an illusion? I am to living according to my conviction, no? This I have always said and I repeat again and again, that we don't live by our knowledge, we live by our conviction. So many places we are convinced of that something which the world is not convinced about, but I live by that only. If I am convinced that a certain, let us say, naturopathy is good for me, even if the whole world is telling me, "Arey bhai, don't try it, तुम्हारा B12 कम हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा," nothing doing. I am convinced by it, I am going to live it.
Because you got the positive.
For the other fellow, it is on paper practical. Possible. For you, you are convinced, so you are living it. Somebody else will say, yes, it sounds very good, but हर 2 घंटे में फ्रूट काट के कौन देगा मुझे, जूस कौन देगा मुझे, वो सब नहीं हो सकता. But you are living it, you made it possible because you are convinced of it. So anyhow it will happen for anything. How many people are convinced about money? You think the whole world is convinced about that? No. There are people who are living who keep money in its place. Ki bhai, theek hai. It has its own place. There are other things in life. So it is up to us, and that's why that understanding of Vedanta and that conviction is so important. That if I am convinced by it that this is, then this will become applicable. Then I will live it also. And please always remember, reality is not defined by majority. Okay? Reality is defined only by uncontradictability of the truth. Just because everybody believes this world to be real, the world doesn't become real. For a long time, everybody believed that the earth was flat. And Galileo was killed because of that. Because he defied. He said nothing doing, earth is round. And he gave logic. And they killed him for it. So just because majority believes, it means nothing. In Vedanta especially. Because the majority also is an illusion. The person who is seeking the truth will go only by what is the criteria to know the reality. Some people say that perception is the criteria. What I see is real. The perception can be the criteria to know the reality. Then sky is appearing blue, earth is appearing, horizon is appearing so real to us. All that is not real. Just because I am seeing it. Do we see the same world? All the creatures in the world, are they perceiving the same world? Each of them perceives based on their own instruments of perception. It is said that the dog cannot see color at all. The sound that the bats can hear, you and I can't hear. What is that sound? Ultrasonic sound. So our ear has a certain range of frequency. Our eyes can see only Vibgyor colors. Infrared and ultraviolet we can't see. But if you put on those glasses, then visible. So perception is not the criteria to know what is reality. Just because I see doesn't make it real. Some people say that durability is the criteria. That, I slept and I woke up. So the chair was there when I slept, the chair is there even when I woke up. So the chair is there for quite some time. So it is durable. So durability is a criteria, that if something is there for a sustained period of time, then that is real. But can that be the reality? Because I am actually experiencing so many things in the dream. The food of the dream is lasting for the whole dream, but is it durable? Can it quench the hunger of my waking state? Same way, utility. Some people think that just because something is useful, it has to be real. And majority. Broadly speaking, these four are the criteria that we use generally to define what is reality. But these cannot be the criteria to know what is the reality. There is only one criteria to know what is real, and that is uncontradictability. That which remains in the 3 periods of time without change, that alone is real. Everything else is illusory. We cannot say it is unreal. Why we cannot say it is unreal? Because it is existing there. And we can't say it is real because it is constantly changing. So that which is not real, that which is not unreal, is called as a illusion. This we did last class also. Maya is like that. The definition of Maya is that which is not but it appears to be. So once I know this very clearly, what is that which is uncontradictable? My body changes, mind changes, intellect changes, objects, people, thoughts, everything changes. What remains unchanging? Satchidananda in me remains unchanging. That witness in me remains unchanging. In different ways we can express that. I am, that remains unchanging. I am tall, I am happy, I am dark, I am thin, I am successful, I am failure. Descriptions will keep changing. But the sense of aham, I am, that doesn't change. This is what we have to realize. In short, realization is this, that drop all the labels. The labels all belong to body, mind, intellect and the world outside. And all these are constantly changing. Hence, if I understand these labels as an illusion and I am as the reality, that is called Brahma Padam Tvam Pravisha Viditva. Having known Brahman, you realize, you wake up. So this concept has to be understood very, very clearly by us. Today we have gone into one of the very deepest aspects of Vedanta. There are 3 levels of reality which are there, and one has to wake up to that absolute level. To do that, detachment from this world is important, and seeking of that absolute truth is important. Both these will happen when I know this as an illusion. On this one has to think a lot, because I must be convinced that this is an illusion. It cannot be borrowed knowledge. It cannot be because scripture is saying. It cannot be because somebody else believes it, that this is an illusion. I have to believe that this is an illusion. I have to arrive on it by my thinking. That why is it said this is an illusion? In fact, in Buddhism it is said the whole world is sarvam kshanikam kshanikam. It is momentary. Kshanabhangur in Hindi we say. As you are seeing it also, it is already changed. It is so ephemeral. We think that we are seeing people, but what we are seeing, by the time that image is created in my mind, already that person has long back changed. The illusion of time and the limitation of senses is what is creating the problem. This we understand as far as other objects are concerned, especially in space. So that whole concept of light years and all that. So the star that we are seeing, do you think is the star which is there? The amount of time that light takes to travel from there to come here and we see, By the time the star has already gone, changed. Sometimes the star is not there. Star is already, what you say, disintegrated. But I am seeing it because of the illusion of time and space.
Yes, presently it is not there.
It's not there. It is gone already. It was there. But I am still seeing it as there, no? Why is that happening? Because of illusion of time and space. Just imagine, this is lucky that this is happening with far away stars. Suddenly the person is standing in front of you and disappears, but you are still seeing. If that happens in the world, that is called ghost. That person went, but you are still seeing. Either it is a ghost or you are hallucinating.
Swamiji, in last session of Swami Vivekananda at the Prempuri, I just got confused. Swamiji was terming Jiva as real. Jiva. In fact, Jiva is not real.
See, I don't know in what context he said that. Jiva as the Jiva is not real.
I think maybe talking of Atman, but actually Jiva. Vivekananda used Jiva but so many times, it is real.
No, I don't know in what context he said.
Then there is duality. Jiva is Brahman.
That is absolute level.
That is so then.
No, absolute level mein there is the word Jiva does not come, na? So then there is no confusion. If Swamiji has used Jiva, but in what context we have to know that. If he uses it in absolute context, then there is no confusion. Because that Jiva only is Brahman, no?
Jiva is conditioned consciousness, no? With BMI, the Brahman with BMI is Jiva.
Yeah, but that BMI itself is an illusion. And so when you get disassociated or detached from that,
Then Jiva is not there.
exactly. That's why I'm saying in absolute level there is no Jiva. And in relative level when Jiva is experienced, it's an illusion. There are only these two. Third level is this transactional, which where I am considering Jiva alone as real and I don't know Brahman. Think more about these three levels of reality. Transactional, relative, absolute. What we have done today is we have mixed up. We have made transactional reality as the absolute reality. That this alone is, but there is nothing else. Then there is a big confusion. At the same time, I cannot say that this is not. Then I have to know that this is relative. It is there and it is changing every minute.
But I am not experiencing it
Because of my limitation. I am not experiencing it because of my limitation. But if I constantly tell myself that this is an illusion, remember this is only in the attitude. It will never affect my performance, my duty, my relationship with the things around me.
Swamiji, rather than considering it like illusionally, say that it's just not permanent, it's temporary. So that way.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it is possible to say that it is temporary, but the difficulty is this. The moment I say it is temporary, I am okay with it. Because something when it is temporary, it will be replaced by something else. You see? Because the world is seen as temporary and world has the capacity to give me temporary pleasure, I am comfortable with it. Continuously temporary pleasure is equal to permanent pleasure is what is the equation in this head. That's the problem. That's why I have to say it is illusory, because it shakes up my definition of reality. That this is illusory means I start thinking कि मतलब है क्या फिर? But if I say that this is temporary, I am okay with it. चलेगा. ये गया तो दूसरा आएगा, दूसरा गया तो तीसरा आएगा. How does it matter?
Temporary is not
Then you
a
don't
convincing
strive
word
for it.
also. If I say my relationships are temporary but children are around me all the time, then how can I think it's temporary?
Correct.
Illusionary would
Correct.
be a better.
Temporary word is relative, na? My child is with me 60 years is as good as permanent for me. But if I say my child is an illusion, then I am shaken up. What are you saying? My child is an illusion? Yes, the child is an illusion, mother is also an illusion. So my definition of reality is shaken up. This is the difference between Vedanta and Buddhism. One of the main differences is this. Because Buddhism says everything is temporary, momentary. But what is that which is permanent? That inquiry doesn't go. And ultimately that inquiry, when it goes there, permanent is a shunya. It is zero. That's why it is a very... it's a disillusioning philosophy in some ways. Because once I know that it's a temporary, then I need to know what is permanent. But suppose I am told this is temporary, but there is nothing called permanent, then what will I do? That's the difficulty there. And that is the reason why Buddhism, when it has started, because this direction was not clear of the absolute goal, Buddhists are today stuck into idol worship, into chanting, into all kinds of rituals, because they need something to hold on to. What will they hold on to? If there is a zero, you can't hold on to zero. So hold on to these. Yeah.
At least at some level there is some wrong interpretation of
Correct.
Because Lord Buddha was enlightened. He couldn't have seen wrong.
True.
It was some...
There is no question of Buddha being wrong, but the interpretation and also assumptions, you see. When they asked Buddha, do you believe in God? He kept silent. Now his silence, to understand the silence of Buddha, you must have that much of maturity. How can one misinterpret? So they misinterpreted it, saying that if Buddha believed in God, he would have said yes. Because he did not want to say no, he kept silent, so that means Buddha doesn't believe in God. Abhi, this is the interpretation of the people. So anyway, think more about this, that why Vedanta says that there is an absolute reality. If I think of this, that there is an absolute reality, and then think about this, that this is a relative reality, these two I have to constantly think about in Vedanta. Then slowly you see the way detachment comes into life, equanimity comes into life, and inquiry becomes deep. And I want to know what is the truth. Otherwise we are not convinced enough. Maximum what we say, that there is an idol but this is not God. Then what is God? Please find out. Just by rejecting the known, one doesn't arrive at the unknown. One has to do the inquiry that what is behind both the known and the unknown. That is what Vedanta is trying to tell us. That what is the cause, the absolute cause. There has to be something which is absolute. And that is my inquiry. So Govinda means that. One of the meanings of Govinda was that absolute truth which supports the whole universe, which is the enlivening factor of my own senses, which is praised in the Vedas, and which is the source of my speech. These are four meanings of Govinda which are given. All of them point out to Govinda as absolute truth, not as on Shri Krishna only. That word Govind actually is very nice, because Govind also means one who takes the cattle, because Go means cow, and he used to take the cows out. So it also means the Sagun Sakar Roop of Krishna, but more importantly it means the absolute truth which does not change at all. Think more on it. As we explore Vedanta more and more, this will become clearer and clearer. Our next class will be on next Sunday, 6th. 6th, yeah. We will do the next verse. So you can read the commentary of this 11th verse specifically to get clarity on this, and then 12, 13. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you. I haven't given you, no? So 6th we will have the class, then Then we have 20th October, because one in between we have that I Transform camp. So 6th October, 20th October, 27th October. These are 3 classes in October. Then the Diwali week is there. So no class during that time. Then it will be 17th October, November. Straight. In November, in fact, there is only one class.
The last also.
1 minute. No, last we can't have. We are in Siddhabari.
So that's 26 after that.
Yeah, so that is 1st December, no? I don't mind doing 10th November if you all are in town. You see, because Diwali is on 2nd, 3rd, so that there is one Sunday there, and then again 10th is a Sunday.
By 6th it gets over.
10th you can do? Yeah, but so then 10th we will do. So 10th and 17th, 2 days, and then it will be 1st December. Then later on December I will tell you. This last week, I don't know if some of you were there, but some of you have gone. We have this I Transform camp. It's a national youth convention. We already have about 600 delegates who have registered from all over the country. From Mumbai, if you have any youngsters, please send them. This is a very, very nice camp. 7 levels of transformation. Plus, Guruji Swami Tejomayananji will be taking the text called Adhyatma Sar. What is the essence of spirituality? Mitrananji will take Chinmaya Mission Pledge. We will be taking workshops on transformation, and then there are other things. Trekking is there, games are there, bhajans are there, lots of cultural performances are there. So please encourage the youth. This is for 14 to 28 years. And for this camp, we also require some sponsorships in terms of delegate fee, because we have subsidized it quite a bit. So if any of you would like to sponsor any youngsters, 500 rupees per delegate you can sponsor. There are various other options. You can sponsor some camp kit, etc. You can offer Bhiksha, because Guruji is there with some 25 acharyas and about 1000 campers. So it can be like a Annadana and Bhiksha that you can do. And then also there are advertisements if you want to place advertisements, but we have only 5 days more to collect advertisements. So this will happen in Vibhuti in Kolwan, yes. So these are available there. Please take them as you go, and let us know if you would like. There is no compulsion on anybody. If anybody would like to, then you can please support.
Next Sunday, we need conclusion on God.
I will take some more time to do that separately, because that session requires a whole or let us do it, okay, fine, because in continuation with this it is happening. That Upanishad class will happen in October 16, 17, 18, and then other 3 days also. Fine, so next week we will do a shloka also from Bhaja Govindam, and then we will finish this on the conclusion on God also. Right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.